and welcome back to another episode of the Autobiography podcast. For the love of God, I haven't even started yet. God's sake. That's the microphone stand. I'm just going to pop you down for a second. Give us a sec. Hello. Cool. Yeah, I shouldn't really be talking right now. I'm learning deaf scream and my throat hurts. I've overdone it. But anyway, I might add, I'm really sorry about the first 10 episodes. I didn't really know where to start with this podcast, so I just thought I'd make what I knew. It's not really podcasty material, just talking about how to start biography. It's more videos, isn't it? But I started each episode now with welcome back to the Autobiography podcast. So we're going to leave the first 10 episodes in. Call that season 1. You'll see on the playlist section, I've named it "How to Start Biography," so that if anyone who is new to my channel, new to the podcast, you can see that season one is not really sort of podcasty. Episode 11, which I've already filmed, hence why smooth shave, is going to be a bit more podcasty, sort of talking about art, talking about biography, but sort of mental health, physical health, stuff that I like, that I genuinely think about and want to talk about, and how it links to my autism, my art, biography, just a bit of everything really. But anyway, into this episode 7 I believe. This will probably be a bit longer now that the intro is a bit longer, but I just want to talk a bit about health and safety. I'm going to say it now, I am a complete hypocrite. This whole episode is going to make me a hypocrite, and I think there's most, if not all, biographers will agree with me on quite a few of these points, that we should do more to protect ourselves, in the sense of we're burning wood, so we should wear masks when we're burning wood. You should really wear a mask, just so that you're not, breathing in all the smoke. But then again, if as long as you've got air ventilated room, so you've got, say, a window behind you or next to you, in the vicinity, and the air's able to come through, and it's sort of taking the smoke sort of away from your face as such. So yeah, as long as you've got either a mask or a well air ventilated room, smoke, or you can actually buy smoke extractors. You can either get like the razor tip one. I was going to get one and then decided it'd probably be quite hard to like set up, considering I was also moving my setup so many times. I have had the cabin a year, and I think I've had maybe a good 7 setups, so I didn't really want to spend a decent amount of money on something that I might not be able to have set up properly or in the correct way for it to be fully functional. And I don't think I could probably have it on this setup, especially if I'm doing like larger pieces, because I'd have to attach it to the top of my desk in order for it to like function properly, because it's essentially like a microphone arm with a fancy Hoover head. You can find them on their website, but anywho, on to the next thing. If you're like me and you like to have a bit of extra equipment, a bit of metal at 400 degrees, it's good and all, but you want to open flame like a blowtorch, fire extinguisher. Yeah, I have a fire extinguisher. So yeah, the deal was when I was going to get my blowtorch was with my mother, because she doesn't not love me. She is no longer with us, unfortunately. The deal was with her that if you're getting a blowtorch, you're getting a fire extinguisher. And I was like, ha, I'm already ahead of you. That was the first thing I looked up. I didn't even look up blowtorches. I looked up fire extinguishers before I looked up the blowtorch. But yeah, I will, Mum. Thanks for thinking about my health. She was like, oh no, I'm not thinking about your health. I'm thinking about you burning the house down. And I'm like, fair enough. So yeah, fire extinguisher for your blowtorch, mask for your smoke is primarily your top concerns for health and safety. Everything else is sort of, not necessarily non-essential, but you could do with them. Pair of gloves, not essential, but when I'm sanding, A, to prevent sawdust from getting on my hands, and B, I do have a tendency of, like when I'm sawing, sort of jumping with the block if I'm getting a bit too sort of into, like, going quite quickly to sort of either because it's going to start raining or it's really hot, so I want to get it sort of over and done with. I don't want to sort of enjoy the sanding. Don't get me wrong, I do like a good sort of sand down with a nice bit of wood, but sometimes it's just like, oh, I've got to sand a piece. Oh. Like with the Rhino Commission, it was 150 high by 45 wide. Just imagine, I'm not going to tell you, just imagine how long I was there sanding, because I insist on sanding by hand, because I prefer to sand by hand. I don't really like to use the random orbit, but my God, not only was it a heavy piece, big piece to sand down. But anyway, I'm supposed to be talking about health and safety and this, that and the other, and I've gone off on a tangent. But then, if you're here for a decent conversation that just flows like a river, even though rivers corrode the side of the walls, when they curve, they corrode the walls and then end up sort of creating a channel. But anyway, yeah, if you wanted a nice flowing conversation or chat, wrong place. Go to season 2. It's probably already out because I've probably already filmed it at this point in time. But yeah, that was me talking about going off on a tangent. I went off on a tangent about going off on a tangent. What are the chances of that? I do apologise for the lighting situ. I'm not very good at this lighting. I currently have my old light that was actually above there because, you know, who needs a decent LED light when you can just put like a main light? They're like decorative lights. They're not fancy. They're not like fancy. They're just like a box standard light. Anyway, another non-essential, but I find essential, ear defenders. I think it's quite obvious why I personally need ear defenders. The tism. So I will put earbuds in and then ear defenders over, even though I'm standing by hand. Like I said, not essential, but comes in handy if you want to drain out your neighbour while you're sanding a nice bit of wood, or just simply so you don't have to hear the sound of the scraping of sandpaper against wood. It's not a lovely sound. It doesn't matter what grit you use. 40 grit, worst. The higher grit is sort of softer the sound, but nah, not for me. I'd rather listen to, Sleep Token, Lauren Shaw, Lewis Capaldi, just Coldplay. Yeah. I do like your music. I've mentioned you because I like your music, and I've gone off on a tangent again. Fuck. Silicone mat. Almost forgot. I'm glad I looked over there. The last bit of health and safety. Silicone mat. I don't know how big you can get them. I did look into them a while back. About a year and a half ago. Definitely come in handy if you're like first starting and sort of grasping pressure of how much pressure to apply with your pen. Not a lot. The pen you shouldn't have to put pressure with your pen, but you're grasping pyrography. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, go with the flow. Don't put pressure on your pen. You'll break it. I've done that. I've broken a solid nib from applying too much pressure, but we won't get into that. Even though it's technically health and safety, I could go into it, but I'm not going to because I've gone off on so many tangents on this episode. Anywho, silicone mat. Perfect for if you've slipped. Instead of burning your table or your tablecloth, whatever you're working on, probably don't have a tablecloth underneath for this reason of catching it, burning it. A nice tablecloth, you don't want to ruin that. They're expensive. I don't know. You don't want to ruin your nice tablecloth. There we go. Silicone mat absorbs heat. I've sat and been a typical male and tested the silicone in the sense of burning it, not anything disgusting. You dirty buggers, don't be thinking anything dirty like that. I have not done anything dirty like that. I've simply burnt or tried to burn because you can't burn it, or at least the one I've got, you can't burn it very well. It literally just sort of cleans it really. It's like had carbon on and I've tried to burn it with a nib and it's essentially just wipes the carbon off. So yeah, silicone mat, if you can get it big enough, perfect for just starting. Not really an essential if you sort of are more professional. But then I didn't really tell you that if you're more professional, you probably already know this sort of thing. This episode is primarily for people just starting pyrography, looking for a bit of, should we say, security in the sense of what do I need so that I don't burn my house down, or what do I need so I don't, inhale fumes or this, that, the other. It's just the basic stuff. I hope this video was somewhat educational and helpful. It probably wasn't. It was probably me just pointing out the obvious with a bit of rambling here and there. I say a bit. It was quite a bit of rambling. I do apologise again. Sincerely, I apologise. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like this video. If you want to comment, you're a tit. Please don't. But do feel free to comment. Be nice, please. Or not. Criticism. I'll take it. I'll take it. As long as if it means me taking the criticism, you're not going to be cruel to someone else who might not be able to take it because they've got quite a few people giving them criticism. I'm happy. It's a comment. Got to start somewhere, ain't you? Feel free to subscribe. Season 2 is probably going to be coming out quite soon because I don't think the episode 1 to 10 is very interesting, so I'm going to try and get these out a bit quicker than every other week. I might try and get it done by end of October so that I can sort of bring season 2, the proper podcast, bring that out. The plan is to do an episode sort of every week, just me talking about ideas, because I can't tell you how much shit goes through my head. Some of it's quite interesting, some of it's quite shit. I've taken notes, you can see in the background, I've got me bit of paper. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do some proper podcasting, but yeah, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you don't like my content, you know where the door is. Cheerio. Yep. Cheers.